Everyone doing? Jags to Riches, James Peters, on behalf of Celtics Corner. Post game 4, Eastern Conference Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, go Celtics. UC Boston with a big bounce back win, 102-82. And of course, we had to bring my girl Bree Marie back live from Game 4.
Woof.
Drove home, and is now doing a post-game show. Bree, how are you, ma'am? Good to see you.
Never not working. Never not working. It's a vibe. Have no voice, so bear with me again, people. It's just the price you pay.
Amen.
I am doing great. If we're looking at patterns, right? Celtics have not lost 2 in a row in these playoffs, so we knew it was coming. I once again was nervous because we didn't have Marcus Smart. Thankful as all hell that we had Rob Will back. I chose the wrong day to not wear his jersey, but maybe I willed it into existence from Game 3, which I don't even want to talk about Game 3 ever again. But we are now 2 for 2, or 2 and 2, whatever you want to call it. 2 and 2. I'm tired. It's been a long day, as you already know. But we are now 2 and 2 for rally towels. So it wasn't the worst rally towel game. Am I pissed that we had to be a rally towel game? Yes. Do I think that we should have swept the Heat? Yes. Have they beat us in only 2 quarters out of this whole playoff run? Yes. I can't wait for all of my Heat fans of me to tell me what happened, bro, because I don't know. I mean, sheesh, another blowout. That's 2 blowouts if we're keeping track.
That is 2.
We're keeping track.
And
what happened?
A few things. So, of course, as Bree stated, the Boston Celtics, in fact, they have not lost a back-to-back consecutive game since the beginning of March. They have not lost any back-to-backs, obviously, in this playoffs. As Bree stated, they're 5-0 following losses. And in fact, yes. I mean, I would be curious to know the margin of victory, because I'm pretty sure it's probably high teens, damn near 20 at this point, because they seem to just come back with a fury. And as Derek White stated in his post-game show, was something along the lines of, we need to now perform the same way off of a win as we do off of a loss, because they have been brilliant. So, as y'all know, guys, this is kind of just a freestyle thing. It's late. We're here for you to kind of just go over this incredible performance from the Celtics. We're going to go through the box scores and then just kind of, like I said, freestyle on go some of our key takeaways. So let's get straight into it, Bree. Let's start with our Celtics.
Yeah, it was going to be a good day because Tatum had more than 10 points. He actually had 12 to end the first quarter, which was more than he even scored in the entire 4 quarters of Game 3, which is just baffling numbers. So Tatum showed up today. Yeah, he had more in the first quarter today than he did in all 4 quarters in Game 3.
Incredible.
So as you know, when your star player is not performing at his peak, you will tend to lose a game. Even when Jaylen Brown scored 40, right? Didn't matter because of all the carelessness, the turnovers, that. Celtics beat themselves Game 3. They absolutely slaughtered the Heat today in a huge redemption game, as they should.
So
they were totally embarrassed, and they made up for it today.
And if you look at it, it's Game 2, we came off with a 20-plus point win after a disappointing Game 1 loss. And then we followed that up with a disappointing Game 3 loss. And as Bree stated, 10 points by Tatum in a 6-point loss. So this was a big redemption game. And I've alluded to and mentioned the Game 3 performance from the Eastern Conference semis as well against Giannis, where he had 10 points and 3 assists. And I don't know what it is about these Game 3s, but after that Game 3, he followed that up with a 30-point, 13 rebound, 5 assist Game 4 performance against the Bucks. And as you see tonight, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 for 16, 50% from the field, 1 for 7 for 3. We need a little bit more from that. But looking at, I want to get straight to Derek White before anyone else. And by the way, Tatum was a plus 37. Lord have mercy. But Derek White to the new, at the end of his post game, it said something like a super dad or something like that. That's exactly what it is. Father to a Hendricks James White, played his ass off tonight. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I believe he scored our first 7 or something like that, all out the gates. And Bree, didn't you mention He outscored or nearly outscored the Heat by himself in that opening quarter.
I didn't say it. You said it, and I'm glad you did.
Well, 10 points, and the Miami Heat, I think,
points.
had 11. We'll get to that in a second on how bad their first quarter was. But yeah, Mr. White nearly outscored them by himself. And Jaylen Brown, 12 points, 7 rebounds off the bench. Peyton Pritchard, who has a lot of heat right now because of that dirty play and Eric Spoelstra's bullshit. But 14 points off the bench. He was excellent. Welcome back, Robert Williams, who, I mean, what an impact he is. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. And by the way, before I forget, because I've been meaning to say this for like a week now, congratulations to Rob Williams, second team all defensive NBA. And of course, to Marcus Smart, first team. Al Horford, 5 points, 13 rebounds, showing love and respect to the opponent. I don't know if they filled this out. I think some stats are missing. Is it? Oh, excuse me, my bad. Jimmy Butler, 6 points, and then PJ Tucker, 0 points. Max Strus, 0 points. Kyle Lowry, 3 points. Their starters only scored 18 total points. Shout out to Victor Oladipo, though, with his 23 off the bench.
Respect to Oladipo.
Yeah,
but it was an Oladipo. No, you did not win. So
2 games in a row. He's looked really good for them. So
I really like Victor Oladipo.
Let's talk. I mean, we kind of mentioned the first quarter where it was just, I mean, the Celtics, you said it, 2 quarters that they've lost in this series have been terrible. But finally, they've kind of flipped it. So talk to me about that opening. I think it was give me some stats, give me some takeaways.
Yeah, so no Smart, that was bothering me. We had no Smart, but Rob played, so that kind of filled the void. Because going into this, we had Tatum as probable, Smart and Rob both as questionable. So we were already going into this game again being like, are we going to be out 3 starters? Like, is this over? We have no idea. And also to the Heat's defense, they also had like 7 players questionable. The only person that didn't play for them was Tyler Hero, but he doesn't really play for them anyway. So whatever. It was an 18-1 start for the Celtics. The Heat only had 1 point in the first 7 minutes. That seems like an eternity. They did not score for 7 whole minutes of the first quarter. And when they ended the first quarter with only 11 points, it is the fewest points in a quarter ever in their franchise history. So, yikes.
Excellent job. Look at her, Bree, stealing my job.
Yeah, and that's me making notes during the game, sitting there watching a game. However, when we went on that blowout, I stopped taking notes and just started vibing with everybody.
Enjoyed it.
Yes. So largest lead was 32. We ended the game with winning by 20. We threw in our second stringers with 6 minutes left in the fourth, which was great. Honestly, that was the best case scenario because people were saying, honestly, at right at the start of the third quarter when we were up 30, they were like, okay, put Rob on the bench. We don't need him. Rest him. And I was totally fine with that because they're absolutely right. However, no lead is safe. I'll just say that. I'm never comfortable. I was not comfortable with a 32-point lead. I won't be. And I won't because I'm not stupid. I know how the game of basketball works. It's a game of runs. And if they get lazy, if they get complacent, they're going to be like, oh, this game's over. No, if a team has fight, they'll fight. And I know that the Heat will fight. But today, they were running on empty. I don't know what happened. I had no idea.
Like you said it, Game 5 against the Bucks taught us that no lead is safe. That was a game that I thought all the way up until the final, literally, until the time clock struck 0, I thought we were going to win that game. So the Celtics know all about disappointing losses throughout this playoffs. And I mean, you can't say that, a team has only lost 2 quarters. Well, then why the hell is it a tied series right now? Right? Why haven't we swept them if we've only lost 2? So,
we should have swept. We should have already been over this series. I think we beat ourselves.
Last series, it shouldn't have gone 7 games, and it seems like we're trending back towards that, stressful ass direction now with these, just nerve-wracking 7-game series. But I mean, Bree, you said it all. That first quarter was, it was insane.
They set the tone.
It set the tone. Well said. It not only did it set the tone, like I said, or like you said, the first 8 minutes they scored 1 point. It was an 18-1 run. The first 6 minutes they had 0 field goals made. As you stated, 11 points, fewest in playoff team history. I mean, the starters alone, like I said, they scored 18 points to the Celtics, 73. They missed their first 14 shot attempts. I mean, this again, was just an absolute domination by the Boston Celtics, wire to wire, and as it should be. Like, this is exactly how the better team should play.
If I could critique the Celtics at all today, is stop missing your free throws. That's the only thing that pisses me off about them. They're not good with their free throw percentage, and less turnovers, but I feel like that was better today. I just think that Jalen needs to get a little bit better with ball handling. I honestly don't want him to handle the ball, if I'm being honest. Literally more than half of the time when he has the ball in his hand, he turns it over, in my opinion. When I watch, I'd rather him just be an off the ball shooter. I want someone to just pass it to him and he just shoots it. I don't need him bringing up the ball. I don't really need him handling the ball. He just is a little careless and sloppy when it comes to his handles. Other than that, I'm good. It's just control the ball, less turnovers, the better. Don't give them second chance points. Reduce the second chance points. Be better on the offensive boards and defensive boards for us. And just hit your free throws. I don't know why that's like basic. That's like fundamentals 101. That really hurt us in these last couple of games. Missing 7 free throws and turning the ball over 24 times. Like, I don't want to harp on the negatives of game 3, but it's important to look at that and make the adjustments. And they absolutely did that today.
Good shot.
100% adjustments today.
And remembering that the Boston Celtics had 24 total turnovers in game 3. They had 33 points off of those turnovers, and they reduced that to 9.
And I'm not going to say that the Heat didn't cause a lot of those turnovers, because Oladipo was picking pockets. They were doing a good job defensively. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that the Celtics, like, all they did was like, whoop, doo, 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 butterfingers. Like, that was half of it. But the defensive threat of the Heat really was there on game 3. But if you really want to talk about it, and I need Heat fans to, like, open their eyes real quick, because we killed a 26-point deficit down to 1. We were within 1 point with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game 3. So that doesn't say much about the Heat keeping a lead either. We could have easily beat that. We could have won. Like I said, they beat us in 2 quarters out of all the games we've played. And that's just facts. People want to bitch. People want to say this, say that. It's a tie game. 2-2, baby. I don't know. Celtics are on a roll. They're confident. And I honestly think we can anything is possible. We've seen, like, crazier things happen. We just need the only thing I'm mad about my team, the one thing, all they had to do was just win 3 games at home. That was it. This sounds easy enough, right? But no, they did not want to win 3 at home. They did not want to make this easy on us. They love to give me heart palpitations. So they now need to steal another one in Miami. Maybe the nice Miami weather will make them be feeling a type of way. I don't know. But yeah, the fact that they already stole one in Miami proves to me that they can do it again.
Yeah.
I just wish that they took advantage of the home court and could have just easily just won these next 3, and it would have been cool.
Yeah,
but now it's harder. There's no safety net now.
That's what's heartbreaking, I think, about game 3 the most, is the fact that you only lose by single digits, 6 points. Jason Tatum only has 10 points, and Jimmy Butler, their star, doesn't play the second half. Like, that's inexcusable to me. Exactly.
Excuse.
So, speaking of players mentioned that have missed the game, Bree mentioned no Marcus Smart tonight, no Tyler Hero for the Heat. But there's 2 players I kind of want to focus on for a second, and I'll let you take our Boston Celtics, and that's going to be Jason Tatum. Coming off of this 10-point performance in game 3, for him to then bounce back in game 4, and like I said, have the 31 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and just ball out like he did. I mean, he looks unstoppable when he wants to be in these kind of bounce back games. And I mean, I just want you to kind of touch on what you thought from Tatum and his performance overall.
So I don't know. This just randomly just came into my head, and I know I'm going to butcher this, and this is going to sound very random. I don't know about any other 90s babies out there, but there was this book, and it was like the no good, very bad day. And I feel like when Tatum is bad, it's a no good, very bad day game. Like, when he's bad, he is bad. When he's off, he is off. But when he is the Jason Tatum that we know and love and know him to be, forget about it. You're not stopping him, and it's going to be game over. And you saw that right from the start of the game, you saw he ended with 12. You saw the dominance. You saw the confidence. You saw that the Tatum that we loved was in the game, and he was there. He bounced back. He was embarrassed. He had something to prove, and he did that. So, and Lord knows, Stephen A. Smith was in the building. He was actually literally 20 feet away from me. Ooh, and Lord knows so cool. if Tatum had a bad day, Stephen A. Smith was going to give it to him, just lay it on his ass.
No doubt.
I think that it was just a really great way to adjust. Yeah. I'm glad that, he played because he was listed as probable. I'm glad he bounced back from whatever injury he suffered on game 3. The thing about, and I'm very upset about this, the thing that pisses me off about people saying that there's fake injuries, that that Tatum left with a fake injury, that Marcus Smart left with a fake injury, because they're trying to relate it back to when Paul Pierce left
Marcus
on a
Smart looked like he got killed. What?
If you look at that, they took a photo of his ankle like this, and I'm like, that's not fake. I don't know what you're trying to say that he
played through it.
He played through it, which makes me think he was running off adrenaline. And then when you stop and you're done with the game and then your foot has time to swell up, that's definitely why he didn't play tonight. I'm really hoping that by some miracle they can get the swelling down, rest it as much as possible, elevate it, wrap it up as tight as you can, because it's do or die, win or go home. I know just by the passion that he has, he's a defensive player of the year for a reason. We love and trust him for a reason. I know that he wants to sacrifice his body for this win, for the game, for the win, to go to that next round. Yes. I know he does, because we see it even in regular season games. We see him diving on the ball, bleeding for the team. Always. There's never a question in my mind. Absolutely. Never a question in my mind. His dedication and his passion and his effort. So I believe that the only reason why he didn't play today was because he physically could not.
Completely.
I know that he would play. I know he would play through it if he could.
If anyone questions Marcus Smart's toughness, they're absolutely ridiculous. They need to watch the game a little bit more.
They have no idea.
Real quick, you mentioned moving forward in this series, and I mean, we've kind of hit on the fact that the Celtics should, maybe they blew, not grabbing both of these games at TD Garden. They should be 3-1ing it, heading back to Miami in a much stronger situation. Now, we got used to this last series with the Bucks. It seemed like anytime there was some momentum, they would end up dropping the ball. In fact, the Celtics never went ahead. What I mean is we would keep playing from behind to tie it up. They went up 2-1, then we caught up 2-2. They went up 3-2, then we caught up 3-3. So right now, it says that Game 5 winner goes on to win the series nearly 82% of the time. Game 5 is going to be back in Miami. What are your expectations? Not getting into too much spoilery, because I think you're going to be available for the pregame show, correct? Game 5?
Yeah. So, and hopefully our boy KJ, a.k.a. Green Runs Deep, is going to make an appearance. I talked to him today. He seems down to do it.
So not too much spoilery, but what do you think about Game 5 and the importance of winning that?
It's pivotal. I don't know, because now they've gotten embarrassed twice, right? Once on their home court, once on ours. And now they're going back to Miami. I think it's honestly dependent upon Jimmy Butler and how he's going to play, because obviously Bam is not consistent. He obviously got shut. Bam? Yeah, he got shut down today. And you didn't, because that Bam that we got game 3, it was kind of like, is that a one and done? Because we didn't see him like that the other 3
31
games.
points, 10 rebounds.
Right. So, and I think that had a huge factor to the fact that Rob wasn't there to shut him down. But anyways, so yeah, it's a very pivotal game. You would think that the Celtics now have this huge blowout under their belt, that they'll take that momentum and just carry it, because they are doing okay. They are doing okay on the road. The thing that stresses me out is, say it goes 7 by chance, it's not going to be home court advantage for us. So that's the only thing that bothers me, because a game 7 environment in your home court, there's really nothing like it. That's why I honestly think that the Celtics beat the Bucks, because they had, that atmosphere, that energy.
And this is coming from a lady that was at Game 7 against the Bucks and knows.
Yes, I was there. I didn't have a voice for 2 days after, but it was worth it. It's very tough to go do that in Miami. However, and I'm not trying to like be like petty or like whatever, but every time I look at the Heat Arena, it is not full. So I don't know what is going on. They don't have fans. They don't have good fans like us, and I've seen that with my eyes. I've literally seen them pan around, and you could be like, "Oh, there's traffic." Okay, let me just tell you, I sit in traffic all day, every hour of the day. We live in a major city. Like, what are you talking about? You're trying to act like Miami's traffic is any different than Boston or LA's traffic? Get out of here. They're not there by halftime. If you're not there by halftime, you're not going to the game, sir. I'm so sorry. The end. And they left 7 minutes in the fourth quarter when they were getting blown out. By the way, let me just tell you, when we were getting blown out, I stayed for the whole game, and guess what? We cut that lead to 6. So anything can happen. Don't just walk out of a game because you think it's over. It's never over till it's over. Ever. You're fake fans if you do that shit. You're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be at the game. Just stay and ride it out. Support your team. I hate people like that.
As Anna Horford said, fair weather fans.
Beat the traffic. I'm like, okay, you're going to just sit in traffic all the time.
Me and Bobby did a segment earlier. It was on my Jags to Riches channel where we went into a whole topic on fair weather fans based on Anna Horford's tweet. You know, it's like when your team's doing good, you're there, man. You love pumping them up. You're all, for it. But when they're not, they kind of disappear under the rug a little bit. So
I said, if you weren't rocking with me in December when we were 21 and 22 or whatever it was, and we were barely above 500 and we were
we were still under
seed. Yeah, we were whatever it was. Yeah, we were under 500. We were the 11th seed. I'm really bad at math, so just bear with me.
No, it's
we were under 500. We were the 11th seed. We were not even close to making playoffs. If you weren't riding with me then, I don't need you now.
Yeah,
when we're basically almost at the NBA finals.
They were part of the breakup, the Jays, and all the other crazy ass storylines we've had to deal with now.
I will always admit I was on that fire email trend, but I
that one's
a million times already about that. But I would never say break up the Jays. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
trademark is smart, ridiculous.
And the next one. The next one's going to be Derek White. I guarantee moving forward, he's going to take over as the Marcus Smart. You know how Marcus Smart the last several years, it's been trade Marcus. It's his contract, and it's perfect. It's going to be Derek White moving forward. But before we wrap up here, like I said, Game 5 coming up, pivotal. Whoever wins that takes a commanding 3-2 series lead, and especially if it's the Celtics, we will be going back to TD Game 6 with a potential closeout opportunity. This could be the first time in this damn playoffs the Brooklyn one doesn't count. That was a sweep where we could go ahead. Let's stop playing catch up. Let's respond just as well off of a win as a loss. No duds, no bullshit. Game 5. Let's go out and, do what we should have been doing this whole time and get this win and close this out. Golden State looks really strong, and they look like they're going to be waiting. So,
or Luka.
Before we wrap, any final thoughts, any takeaways? Get something off your chest. Talk to me.
The only thing I'm going to say is I am not a delusional fan. I'm a very realist fan. I try and be fair in everything that I look at, and I can honestly say that I'm not sure what Game 5 is going to look like, because if you're looking at it in the mindset of usually home court is an advantage. Usually it's in their favor to win on their home court. And I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of fire under their ass to, wipe the embarrassment off their face that they just got today. So, I don't know how it's going to go, if I'm being very honest with you. You're supposed to win in your home court. That's what you're supposed to do. So if the Celtics can just have more firepower, more grit, more want, more drive from the start of the buzzer to the end of the buzzer, or start of the clock to the end of the buzzer for 48 straight minutes, just give it your all and don't back down and don't take your foot off the gas and don't, play bad. Like, if you can play the way that we know you can play, they can win. No problem. Like I said, I do want to give credit to the Heat where it's due, but if I'm honestly looking at this, they've played 2 quarters better than us. Realistically, if the Celtics just didn't mess up. And obviously, people make mistakes. They have off nights, they have off games. It's whatever. But if they just could have, tightened it up a little bit, made the adjustments quicker, handled the ball better, made their free throws, did this, did that, this could have been over in 4. And I'm being dead serious. So
no, I'm with you.
And people want to be mad about that. I don't really care. Cry about it. I don't care. People want to, people want to bitch at me when, we're up, and then they want to talk all this shit when they're up, but they never want to look at it the other way and be like, you're right. My team just got an ass beating. Let me reevaluate my opinions.
Right.
But
instead,
whatever.
It'll be, all y'all do is talk, when y'all win, even though.
I've been talking this whole time. So look at my Twitter, look at my Instagram, look at my YouTube, look at this YouTube.
Right.
I will stand by my team, shitty or not, shitty performance or not.
And before you critique us, guys, remember that if something's not posted on Celtics Corner by me, it's a good chance it's on my Jags to Riches channel. I do a lot of my post games and a lot more breakdowns there. By the way, if you haven't, please go subscribe over there.
And they also don't realize that we do this at 1 a.m. and then Bobby posts it the next day at noon or something.
Correct.
So we are recording, we are doing our things. It's just they're not seeing it right away. So they're
I'm gonna post this
what's up?
immediately.
What's up?
Right.
That's fine.
And you're right. And you're right. Moving forward, it's like me and Bobby talked about it.
They hear crickets and they're like, oh, they're not saying anything. It's because this is a production.
Correct.
We have a lot of things to edit and add in.
A schedule.
And we're not going to go live at 1
record.
a.m. Who's going to talk to us at 1 a.m.? So whatever.
But look, for me,
people are just
moving
dumb,
into,
and why we give them attention, I don't know.
I know it is one of those things. Like you said, you got to. They don't even have a damn profile pic. Give them the
5 fake accounts to talk
correct.
Shit.
I'll send you a link whenever you're ready, and y'all can come on the show anytime you want, or you can post your own video. Allow me, Bree, and Bobby to come critique you on your channel.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, huh? Game 5, heading back heading back down south to Miami. Look, last series, our game 5 is when we shit the bed. We had that collapse where, like I said, it looked like we were going to win all the way up till the very end. Even when Al Horford had that, and one or that tip in dunk with a minute left.
That was so good.
It was awesome. And we still ended up losing 110-107. So no collapses, no bullshit. Let's go in there, get the job done, and set us up in an opportunity to go to the NBA Finals on our home
and get some rest because you know
that
that the Warriors are going to be resting for 2 weeks at this point.
They might sweep the damn Mavericks, so they're probably going
to.
They'll be done here, but going up on a half hour here, guys. So again, we appreciate you all more than you ever know. Respect to the Miami Heat.
Yes.
Y'all have been the number 1 seed. You've been excellent. You're in the ECF battling with our Boston Celtics. So for a reason, as Bree said, but pre-game, post-game, all the above before each and every game. The lovely Bree Marie. Thank you so much for your time as always, Bree. And until the next time, we will see you back on Celtics Corner. Take care, guys.
Go Celtics.